All right, so in this case, guys, again, we're going to be provided with the sine formula for the sum. So the sine formula for the sum of two angles, which we'll call u and v. I'll call that one u, and I'll call that one v. The formula, which you will be provided, is the sine of u times the cosine of v plus the cosine of u times the sine of v. Now, I know in the last video I already showed you those coordinate points, and I showed you how to get to those coordinate points, so I'm just going to kind of make this a little bit quicker. And obviously, we'll look at this, and we know that from our unit circle, we know that pi over 6 is going to be, the coordinate point of pi over 6 is square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1/2. We're trying to evaluate for the cosine and sine. Remember, the cosine of that value for that angle represents the x-coordinate, and the sine represents the y-coordinate. At 3 pi over 4, that's going to be in the second quadrant, and it's a direct reflection of pi over 4, which the point there is square root of 2 over 2, comma, square root of 2 over 2. However, that's pi over 4. 3 pi over 4 is the reflection of that, which would be negative square root of 2 over 2, comma, square root of 2 over 2. And again, that's your x and your y coordinates. So now all I'm simply going to do is plug in my angles, first of all. So I want to evaluate for the sine of 3 pi over 4 times the cosine of pi over 6 plus the cosine of 3 pi over 4 times the sine of pi over 6. All right, now for each one of these cases, now what I'm going to do is evaluate for each one of those. And I've seen some students, when they evaluate the points, they still leave the trig function. They still leave cosine and sine. Remember, the cosine of my angle pi over 6 is what the value of your x coordinate is. So the sine of 3 pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. The cosine of pi over 6 represents the x coordinate, which is square root of 3 over 2. Plus, the cosine of 3 pi over 4 is negative square root of 2 over 2. I'll put these actually all in parentheses. And the sine of pi over 6 is going to be 1/2. Now, we just multiply across. So this becomes the square root of 6 over 4. And this becomes minus the square root of 2 over 4. Now, again, we look at them and say, all right, what can we factor out? Well, we can factor out the square root of 2 and 4. So therefore, my final answer is square root of 2 over 4 times the square root of 3 minus 1. Yes?
Would it do the same? Like, would it matter if we wrote negative 1 plus square root of 3?
No. Wouldn't matter.
And then, so whenever it's the u plus v, is it always the same sign on both sides? Like same, if it's
For sine, for the sine function, yes.
What about cosine?
Cosine is different, which we'll go over next. So just remember, guys, when you're either doing a problem that's going to be in radians